The overworld in Minecraft is an always changing world that's full of potential for so many new biomes that could make exploration feel fresh and exciting each time. And who knows, with endless ideas for new biomes, the next big update might just introduce a ton of completely new biomes to explore that are unlike anything else we've seen before. Hey yo, I'm Creato, and today we're taking a look at 9 biomes that should be added to help further improve the overworld biome experience, and should be added in the next big update to reshape the overworld and bring in tons of entirely new biome experiences to explore. Let's start off with a big new biome with the redwood forest, which has massive trees that stretch up far into the clouds. The redwood forest would have a new tree variant that is extremely tall with all of the trees tightly packed together. And just walking around in the redwood forest would make you feel very small because of the giant scale of all the trees that make up the entire biome. And the trees would also have lots of leaves as well, but the leaves would be way higher up than other trees since the redwood trees are way taller than other trees. And on the ground there would be lots of podzol and ferns, which helps to further give this biome a different look from the other forests, as if the giant trees weren't enough. And with a new tree variants would also come a new wood variant, which would be a bright red color since it's called redwood after all. And with this bold new color of planks that would open up more possibilities for building with bright red colored wooden planks. Plus the giant trees also make for a nice viewing place since the sheer height is unmatched by anything else. And just imagine stumbling across this biome on your first night trying to get some wood. You might as well just make a home inside one of the trees since there's plenty of space for everyone to fit. And if you're looking for somewhere with a bit more space to move around, then may I suggest the willow forest, which has huge lakes and trees that hang over the murky water below. But just make sure to bring a boat, since you'll need it to be able to get around all of the water that floods the willow forest. And the trees in this biome have different height levels, with some of the trees being taller than normal and others shorter than normal. This just makes a good variety for the tree height, so that you can reach the trees closer to the water and collect the new willow logs to craft up some planks. Willow planks are a light green color, which is really nice since it's a much more subtle color, which could be used in a lot more situations. Plus, there's also lots of willow vines and even cattails along the edge of the water, which could both be taken and used as decoration for any sort of nature build you might be planning. And with all of the willow vines hanging off the trees, it really blocks out the rest of the world, which helps you feel immersed in this peaceful biome. And just imagine rowing around in a boat with the sight of the willow trees above and the relaxing sound of the boat moving across the water below. And speaking of relaxing, the Palm Beach would be the perfect place to kick back on the sand with the new palm trees and ocean washing over the shore. The Palm Beach would be home to the brand new palm trees, which curve to hang over different parts of the sand below. And there would also be lots of other new desert-themed plants that could be found here, like new cactus variants, as well as the odd tumbleweed rolling by. These help give much more life and color against the sand, while just being some fun new plants to find. And even though the Palm Beach is mostly just made out of sand, the new desert plants, as well as the palm trees, both help to make the place look a lot better, while also being perfect to use in a desert biome too. And since the palm trees are a new tree type, that also means they get a new palm wood variant as well, which is a nice golden color that pairs perfectly with the color of sand. This makes palm wood the perfect choice for any sort of desert-themed build. And that's not all for the Palm Beach, since it would also be home to a brand new meerkat mob, which loves to run around and even sometimes dig in the sand. And with a new mob and new tree type, plus all the other desert-themed plants, the Palm Beach is a great place to really feel the desert experience with the sun shining down on the sand below. Also, if you're enjoying the video, please make sure to leave a like and hit subscribe, as all your support really means a lot. Next up is the Baobab Savanna, which is home to the giant baobab trees located sparsely across the place. The Baobab Savanna is a bit different than other forests since the baobab trees are much bigger with a lot more space between the trees. This gives the biome a much more open feel, which allows you to easily walk through the trees and get a good view of everything from the ground level. And the baobab trees are about twice the size of normal trees, since not only are the baobab trees taller, but they are much thicker as well, which is perfect for the 2 new mobs that live in the Baobab Savanna, which are termites and ostriches. The ostriches would spawn all over the place and could also be equipped with a saddle to start running around really fast. And the termites could be found in their termite mounds, which also makes them the perfect snack for ostriches whenever they get a bit tired from running around the place. And all that running will sure come in useful for getting to the baobab trees really quickly, so you can collect the new baobab wood type. And the baobab planks are a much brighter orange color compared to the color of acacia planks from the normal savanna biome. And with 2 new mobs plus a new wood type, the Baobab Savanna is a great place since it helps to further expand on the already existing savanna biome and tree type. And another biome that expands on an existing tree is the azalea orchard biome, which is full of azalea trees, plus 2 other new tree types as well. The azalea orchard biome gives a home to the azalea trees, which currently don't spawn anywhere in their tree form. This means here you can find lots of azalea trees, plus a new flowering oak tree with white flowers growing on it, and a lavender azalea trees with their purple leaves. And since azalea trees got a new home, it only makes sense for them to get their own wood type as well, with the azalea planks being a purple color, which will be a fun color to work with in builds. This makes the azalea orchid biome fully live up to the potential that azalea trees were meant to have by finally giving them a place to generate and a new wood type to build with. Plus, all of the grass and leaves on the flowering oak trees have a really nice light green color, which give the entire biome a really calming feeling, especially with the lavender azalea trees with their purple pop of color. And with the azalea orchid finally giving a home to azalea trees, as well as bringing in 2 new tree types as well, this makes it the perfect place for flower and plant lovers with all of the azalea trees and flower bushes growing around the place. And another great place for flower and plant lovers would be the lush swamp biome, which is full of all sorts of new swampy plants that can be found both in and out of the water. Right away, you'll notice lots of cattails around the water, along with both larger and smaller sizes of lily pads to float above the surface of the water. This helps to give a lot of variety with lots of new water-based plants, which gives the lush swamp a much more lively and full look to it with all the new plants. Plus, there are also lots of giant mushrooms and moss growing around the patches of grass and mud. And along with all of the new plants, there's also a new swamp wood type, which is a muddy green color to perfectly match with the swampy and murky colors of the grass and water in the lush swamp. And in some parts of the water, you'll also find some swamp gas rising out the water, which might poison anything that gets too close to it. And you'll also be able to find patches of algae sitting on the water, which doesn't do anything besides add even more of that green color to the lush swamp biome. And if you're looking for even more green, then you'll find plenty in the tropical forest, where there's lots of new rainforest-themed plants sprouting from the grass. In the tropical forest, you'll find lots of rivers parting through the trees with some new giant flowers that grow and sit in the water. This means you can use the giant flowers and lily pads to hop across the river, which act as a natural bridge to easily get across the water. And with a new tree type in the tropical forest, that means there's also a new tropical wood set, which is a purplish pink color to match the tropical look of the entire biome. This makes the tropical wood a good option for any sort of tropical or rainforest-themed build, since it would match the color of the trees in the tropical forest. And the entire tropical forest gives off a really fun feel where you can pass by and get a rainforest experience unmatched by anything from any other biome. And speaking of unmatched, the seasonal forest is the perfect place to find mismatched trees with all sorts of warm colors in the leaves. The seasonal forest is in a constant state of autumn, where the leaves are always a combination of red and orange and slowly piling up on the ground. This makes the seasonal forest a really cozy biome with all of the warm colors and trees packed together. And between all of the trees, you'll find leaf piles, which slowly build up over time as the leaves continue to fall off the trees. And the trees in the seasonal forest are also made out of new wood type called maple wood, which is a really nice brown color with a very slight reddish tint to it. This makes maple wood the perfect choice for building with wood that has a natural, slightly warm look to it. And if you look back on the ground, you could also find some toadstools, which are small orange-colored mushrooms that match the warm colors of the entire seasonal forest. Altogether, the seasonal forest is a really snug and warm biome, perfect for feeling the warmth of the autumn-colored leaves with the leaves piling on the ground. And if you're really looking to crank up the warmth, then the hot springs biome is the biome for you, since it's full of geysers bubbling up from below the ground. And right away, you'll notice all of the thermal calcite, which is located all around the water and goes from yellow to red as it gets closer to the water. Plus, there's also layers of regular calcite as well as smooth basalt, which makes the hot springs biome the only natural source of smooth basalt in the overworld. And besides all of the bubbles rising from the water, you'll also be able to find smoke coming from the ground, since the hot springs really live up to the hot part of their name. This helps to give the hot springs biome a really unique look, since it's mostly made out of thermal calcite and smooth basalt with not too many trees or plants that can be found in the biome. But with the few trees that you can craft a new burnt wood type, which is a very dark brown color that almost looks like black colored wood. This makes the burnt wood match perfectly with the smooth basalt, which further helps to give the hot springs biome a really hot and thermal feel with all of the smoke and bubbles rising from the ground. So with all the potential for new biomes along with everything that could come with them, there's a good chance that the next big update could actually focus on adding in tons of new biomes to improve the entire overworld experience. And this can include adding in lots of different colored wood types to build with, along with many new plants to make each of the biomes feel more alive than ever before. And that's a wrap for today. Don't forget to leave a like and hit subscribe, and also comment beautiful biomes if you made it this far. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.